I'm going to tell you and also show you how to create a generational wealth. Dug a hole somewhere and they did the ritual and they sacrificed their mother and they sacrificed their father to become wealthy. The Elon Musk, the Jeff Bezos, the Aliko Dangotes, Dale Carnegie, the Henry Ford, name them. You see, when we talk about generational wealth, that is what they have done. Imagine a life where being poor is just a concept in the storybooks. Just like how we read about the dragons, the aliens, about Star Wars, or even about Cinderella, Snow White, Beauty and the Beast. Yes, a life where your success isn't just about today, tomorrow, but for a generation to come, for you and for your children. Now you've seen the message loud and clear on our thumbnail. It's not just a catchy phrase. This is a promise of a future, a vision of generational wealth that goes beyond here and now. The Bill Gates, the Elon Musk, the Jeff Bezos, the Aliko Dangotes, the Henry Okooboh, the Henry Fords. You see, when we talk about generational wealth, it's not just about riches. Right? It's not about money you have that you spend on cars and house. We are talking about something that goes far and deep beyond just having money to live a comfortable life. It's about creating a legacy that outlive us. It's about creating a future that outshines you and shines on for your children and their children and their children. Now, contrary to what we were meant to believe, just for instance, when I was growing up, I was meant to believe that the rich people that oppress the poor and take away all that belong to the poor, and that is why the poor people are poor. So as a result of that, a lot of us grew up understanding that riches is just as a result of stroke of luck and the advantage that the rich ones take of the poor people. But today, I submit to you that generational wealth is not a stroke of luck, and it's not a privilege for the choosing few as well. But it is what legends like Henry Ford, Dale Carnegie, Jeff Bezos, Elon Musk, name them. But that is what they have done. They've been able to create something that is so valuable in the eyes of everybody that it outlive who they are today. So here are two promises I have for you in this particular video. The promise number one is I'm going to tell you and also show you how to create a generational wealth, just as what these great men have done, and what is the secret or what did they knew that makes them create such wealth. Then second promise in this video is that I'm going to walk you through step-by-step process on how you can create generational wealth for yourself and your children. Now the key thing here is to remember that when it comes to generational wealth, you have the what and the how. The what is the things that they did, right? What and what they did that make them became wealthy, and they create a wealth that even outshines them and shines on their children. That is the what. The how is the tricky part, the challenging part. The how is a step-by-step approach, what they did, the challenges that came along, all the things that they were able to overcome, and how they passed through what they passed through to get to where they are today. And I'm breaking down both of them in this video. The first one is very simple, and I'm so sure that a lot of you are going to take the simplicity of the first step and not want to implement what I'm about to say, because you're going to see it's so simple, right? Like you'll be like, it's not possible. Why will it be so simple that what these guys are doing to amass generational wealth is this simple? But funny enough, it's simple, and so simple that all the poor people ignore it and they look for something harder to do to create wealth. That is why we have people who are working too hard and they are making nothing, and the few who are working smartly and know about all that it takes to create wealth, they are creating wealth, not necessarily because they are working harder, but because they knew something that the poor don't know. Now here is it. Number one is this: the rich people, the wealthy people, what they did was they were able to do this particular thing. They were able to identify problem, a very significant problem that is affecting huge number of people. The key word here is large number of people. Then the final thing they did was they provide a solution to that particular problem, and that is the what. Like I said, the what is very simple. It's so plain, it's so easy, it looks so direct that it is so impossible for some of us to even believe that this is what they did, because some of us want to believe that, oh, they must have gone and dug a hole somewhere and they did the ritual and they sacrificed their mother and they sacrificed their father to become wealthy. It's not always the case. They identified a serious issue in their society, in their community, that is affecting a lot of people, and they create solution for that particular problem, and that made them so much wealth. Now the next question question is how, because the natural question will be, how did they do it? What did they do? What are the steps? What are the things that they were able to do? And that is where I'm going to really walk you through most of the steps that these guys took. You know what, when I was doing this research, I was so blown away that it was so simple to see that these guys are able to see things that the common man refuse to see. But at the end of the day, they solved this particular problem for the common man. So the moment these guys identified the problem that is affecting huge number of people, what they did was that they packaged that solution to that problem into something I'm going to tell you very soon, right? They package what they find as the solution to the problem that is affecting the masses. They were able to package it properly, and the perceived value was so great that everybody needs that particular solution. And I would like to let you know that every one of us on earth, we are so unique and we have a particular problem that we are here to solve. See, what you don't understand is your trash is somebody else's treasure. Some of us, we have the skill to teach. You have the skill to pass your knowledge to someone else. Some of us, we know how to play the guitar. You know how to cook. All you need to do is to package what you have into a solution for people who are looking for it. The only thing you have to do after that is to make sure that the market you are serving is large enough to pay you so much money, and not just for now, but for tomorrow and for generation to come. So let's look at it here now. This is what Bill Gates did. Bill Gates was able to package a product called Windows and make it accessible to every laptop as an operating system. He packaged an operating system into laptops and computers around the world. Every system and laptop, most of them were operating on Microsoft OS, and they packaged this particular solution into what people need and to every house, to every home. Till today, we are still using Windows. A lot of us are still using Windows. Jeff Bezos did the same thing. He changed the online retail forever. Today, we are more comfortable buying things online, right? See, I don't know when last I went to the market. I'm more comfortable buying every single thing online in my comfort zone. I stay at home and I order and I get it delivered to me. Jeff Bezos discovered the secret that if not only book is going to be sold, can we just have people buy books? Not only books, buy every other thing. Let it be their lifestyle. And he changed the game for millions of us. He's serving millions of us, and that's how he's making his money. And it's not a mere wealth, it's a generational wealth that will go to his children. Steve Jobs did the same thing. How he revolutionized the music industry with iTunes and iPod, and he called it 1,000 songs in your hands. You know what that was at that time? To have 1,000 songs just in your hand with a click of a button. And iPod changed the game forever in the music industry. The same thing with iTunes. Now iPhone and MacBook is changing how we do things. It's even giving us a new identity. You know how many people are seeking for identity that portray them to be certain kind of people in certain way and have certain kind of lifestyle, and have people look at them from a different angle and different perspective. When you have the iPhone and the MacBook, it's like you belong to a different set of leagues, different set of class of people. And that is a huge problem, because a lot of people have issues with their identity. They have issues from their background. Now iPhone solved that particular problem. You know what? All you need to do is to have an iPhone and have a MacBook, and everybody will respect you. People will look at you as somebody who is worth watching, somebody who is worth respecting, and it's working. I'm not saying that is what you should do. I'm saying that is a problem for a lot of people, and that particular stuff solved a lot of problems. Even in the business world, you want to do business with somebody and the person is talking about $10 million or so, and when you look at the gadget he has, even the person is using a Nokia 3310 and his suit is not okay, and his laptop is just any laptop, and he's trying to present for you, and the laptop is going off and on, will you take that person seriously? But when the person open up his iPad and his latest iPhone to show you his presentation, everything is sleek, everything is brand new, you say, yes, this person has class. That is what Steve Jobs solved. What are you going to solve for the world? And the thing is, we all have something that we can use to solve a particular problem in this world. See, it is not even possible to be alive and not have a purpose that is unique to only you. The only thing is, you don't know, right? You sit down with your purpose and you are looking for other people's purpose. Now, there's one thing that all these guys did. Henry Ford, Steve Jobs, all these guys, they did one thing. They packaged their solution into one word that I want you to take home with, and it's called a product. They package all their solution into a product. And you know what? Everybody has a product in him. And today I'm going to be walking you through steps to creating products. Stay with me here, right? I'm going to be walking you through a simple approach model that will help you know if you even have a product inside of you, which I'm sure you have, and steps you need to take to be able to unleash the product in you and start to create a generational wealth for yourself, for your children. Allow me to walk you through a 5-step process that I use when it comes to creating a beautiful product. Not just beautiful product, but a product that serves value in its highest form and shape. Now, before I walk you through these particular steps, let me introduce you to a concept of product that changed my life forever. Now, the day I understood what a complete product was, that is the day that I noticed that everything about me changed. Let me walk you through a very simple step to identifying and to even knowing what is a product. Then we cannot talk about the steps. Now, you need to understand that a product consists of 3 components. Every single product that is very good, that serves people at its highest level, consists of 3 important components. The first part of a product is called the core product, right? Now, the core product is the core value that the product provides, right? The major solution that the product provides as far as the product is concerned. So this is the primary benefit that the product offer to the customers that are looking to use this particular product. Just imagine if you are buying a car. The major goal of the car is to transport you from point A to point B safely and as well comfortably, right? That is the primary benefit of a car, and that is the core product. That is the core product of a car. If it's a mobile phone, the core product of that particular mobile phone is for communication, to allow you to communicate between you and another person. So you must identify what is my core product. What is the core solution that my product is providing to the marketplace that is solving problem to wide range of people. Then the second part of a product is what we call the actual product. Now, the actual product is now the product itself, right? The tangible part of the product itself. For instance, a car now, an actual product of a car is the body of the car, the seat, the comfortability. When you go, you sit down. Different kind of car, they come with different actual products of the car, right? So if it is a phone now, your iPhone, for instance, the thickness, the sound, the volume, the quality of the phone itself, and the features, all these are the actual products of any product. That is the tangibles. If you see Coca-Cola, for instance, the bottle of the Coca-Cola, the dark brown color of the Coca-Cola, those are the actual product of the Coca-Cola. Then the third part is what we call the augmented products. The augmented product, these are the extras that comes with every kind of product, right? Every type of product, you must have the augmented part. Now, this has to do with the legals, right? The refund policies of the product, the warranty of the product, the membership that comes with the product, being part of a class. For an iPhone, if you get an iPhone, it's like you are part of a class of people that be able to use AirDrop together. You know, that is an extra feature of the product, and it's called the augmented product. If your product have these 3 components, then you have a complete product. All you need to do is to make sure that it serves a large market. How do we do that? How do we get the product to serve a large market? Now remember, this can be a skill, right? It must not be a physical product. It can be ability to teach, to cook, right? It can be anything as long as it serves people. It solves a pain point. It solves a problem that people are looking forward to solve, right? That is what makes it a product. So that is the goal. Now, the next thing is, if you understand these 3 components, now how do you create this kind of product and also be able to find out if the market is large enough, then also to make sure that what you are providing is serving people at a higher level. Let's go through the 5-step approach that I use and that I've learned from my mentor on how to create a product that not only serves its value but adapts and identify the problem of the masses and fulfill that particular need in the marketplace. In the whole framework, you have the first approach is called the learn. I'm sure you've never heard about it before. First time I heard about it, I was blown away as well. The learn. What do you do when it comes to the learn approach? This is the point where you start to learn about everything you need to learn. If you are creating course, you need to know, are people interested in this? Is this thing even a thing? Are there other people doing this same thing? Who are the other people? Are they selling? How are they making money from it? This is where you equip yourself with all the information. This is where you go and learn a skill that you can use to create a particular solution for a problem that you find in the marketplace. So this is the point where you create market research to understand customer need, their pinpoint. You analyze trend, identify the gaps in the current market so that you can know what you can offer. Begin to validate your own ideas. This is where you start to work on your ideas based on the problem you see in the marketplace and what people are looking for. You start validating your ideas, checking which of the ideas is good enough, right? If you want to become a YouTuber full time, you need to know what kind of YouTuber am I going to be? Am I going to be creating educational content or am I going to be creating entertainment content, right? You go and study to understand the market, to understand the solution, to understand the problem, to understand the customer. Where are they? Who are they? What is their psychography? What is their demography? If you don't have knowledge, there is nothing you can do. You cannot even create value. You can't create a product without having knowledge of how to do so. This is where you learn so much. I can't emphasize how this part is so important. Then the next stage is stage number 2, where you begin to create. It's in this stage that you develop a clear value proposition, right? And a unique selling point for your product after all your research and after all what you've gathered from what is already in the marketplace and from yourself and from what you have to offer. Then you move to designing of the avatar, people that you have discovered that, oh, these are the people that like this particular product. These are the people that are interested, their age, their demography, their psychography. Now you are designing an avatar. You are creating a perfect avatar to say this is the person that will need what I'm offering, and you're analyzing the market to be sure that you have a lot of them. You have done that. Still in this create stage, the next approach, which is product development phase. Now, what is your product? Is it an educational product, an online product, a physical product? Is it a digital product? Is it a course? What is it? This is when you start to structure and to develop your first MVP, minimum viable product, right? You begin to say, okay, this is how it look like. This is what I'm going to be delivering. This is what I'm going to teach. You're developing your curriculum for the product if it's an online course. At this point, guys, you need to take this seriously. I have been developing courses. I have been working on course for the past 8 years. In fact, I have a platform that people go and study university degree courses. So this is my area. So I'm really speaking out of experience when it comes to this part. Then you create your pricing strategy. How are you going to charge these guys? How much are you going to charge them? Remember, you are always comparing what is in the marketplace and also the value that you know you have to offer. You must not charge what is in the market, right? You can look at what's in the market and you have higher value, you can charge more. It's simple. Charge based on your value, not based on what other people are charging, or not based on the hours you put into it, or charge based on the value that what you have to offer provide to the market space, right? And make it unique. That is it. Once your product is one of one, you can charge any amount you want to charge. Then the last part of this create is for you to source. For instance, if you are sourcing your product to create this particular final product, if you are sourcing your materials, let's say you are creating a design, whatever it is that you're doing, maybe it's a physical product. This is the stage where you find out how are you going to create the design, how are you going to source for the material that you need for your product. If it's a physical product, if it's a digital product, how are you going to create your curriculum? What are the things that you need? What are the designs involved? All the tools you need to create what you want to create. In this stage, you get everything nailed down. Then you move to the stage number 3. Stage number 3 is what we call the adapt, right? At the adapt stage, this is where you go back to step 1 and step 2 to refine your findings. For the time that you start learning to when you start creating, you will discover a whole new thing. See, when you start implementing your knowledge, that is where wisdom comes. When you start implementing the knowledge you gather in the marketplace and you are creating something, you will discover that you find a different path entirely. What you were thinking that you were going to do based on what you saw in the marketplace will be different from what you are now arriving at, and it's very fine. That is the purpose of the adapt stage. The adapt stage, you refine them, you go back, you change some things. Your value proposition could have changed, or something will change. Your avatar, your product itself. In fact, what you are not looking, what you want to create can even change at this stage. It is very, very okay, right? It's so cool. Nothing spoiled at all. You can even use survey at this point, right? To get more data, to get more information, to find out what people like about what you have started, your minimum viable product. Get people to take a survey on it, to actually test and give you feedback so that you can refine your product. That is the adapt stage. The moment you are done with your adapt stage, you are ready for the market. You launch. Now, you are not launching because you have a perfect product. Listen, your first product is not going to be perfect. Let me tell you something. Your first product is not going to be perfect. See, let me give you an assignment. Go and check Nokia's product. If you know what Nokia first product was, you will be so shocked. Do you know what was Samsung first product? In fact, Samsung was a grocery store. That was their first product. IKEA, one of the best furniture brand right now, they started with a matchstick. Your first product must not be perfect. It must not be perfect. Or Lamborghini, right? Lamborghini started as a tractor. So don't even expect to have a perfect product when you start your product, right? Feedback. Elon Musk said feedback is the most important aspect in any business. When you start getting feedback from real customers who are testing the waters with you. Then you start to modify and to make it better for them. So you just go and launch. Go launch your product. As long as you get the first part right, the first part of creating a product that solves problem in the marketplace, get that and launch. Now, how do you do this launch properly? So when you are launching, you have to implement certain growth strategies and marketing, right? You have to implement certain growth strategies. You launch the product in the most important place that you know you have your audience and they are available there to buy. So at this point, you develop a marketing strategy that you use to launch. Do you want to launch it through the organic platform or through the PPC platform, like through the paid ads, or do you want to have an email campaign to launch? You already have a list that is waiting for you that you've gathered over time. How do you want to launch? You must come with a plan for launching this particular product. So when you are launching, remember your first goal of your first launch is for you to launch and see what people are saying about the product, to gather a lot of feedback. Once you gather feedback, you go redefine the product and launch the next version of the product if the first one does not meet the market requirement. Right? Then you launch the product. Then you move to the next stage where it is the growth stage. This is the point where you begin to implement certain growth and scaling strategies, right? Involving the top and the top-notch marketing funnels that you can find. In fact, you see this whole process. I have a course where I talk about this entire process. I show you tools and steps on how to go through this process. I even have a book on it, linked below on this video. How you go step by step, the tools to use, what to use. Nothing is stopping you from creating your product. Nothing. And every one of you have a product inside of him or her. Nothing is stopping you. Just that you don't know what steps to take, and that is what I'm doing in this particular video and even in the course, right? Go check it out and you see it. You will learn a lot and you start implementing everything that I've said in this particular video. So during this growth strategy, right, some of the things you can do when it comes to growth strategy is for you to focus on scaling your marketing effort and optimizing your funnel for better conversion rate. So you watch my video. I have a video here about marketing funnel. Go watch it, see how to create a full marketing funnel that will help you to start selling your product properly. Then the next thing, you are going to be optimizing that particular funnel to make sure your conversion rate is becoming high and is growing every day. And then while you are doing that, you begin to analyze your sales and customer feedback to identify opportunities, right? Begin to analyze their feedback. When you're analyzing feedback, you are going to be looking for the wow factor of your products, for the challenges that your products have when people are using it, and for the opportunity that comes with your product. You are getting feedback, you're analyzing them, and you are making them available. Once you have that done, brother, as I speak to you, you are on your way to creating a generational wealth, because that is all it took Bill Gates, Jeff Bezos, Henry Okooboh, Henry Ford, and every other billionaire out there. That is what it took them. It took them the ability to identify a big problem in the market space that is affecting huge amount of people, and they provide solution to that problem. The moment they provide that, they continue to refine. There are challenges along the way. They continue to refine, to modify until they are able to keep expanding the market and the people that they are serving. The more they keep doing that, the more the business continues to grow. And it's the same step you ought to take if you want to make this year the best year ever for you and for your family. Now, the last part of this video is something that you don't want to miss, right? The last part, because I've seen so many people create products. They create products, but the product is not doing well. I'm sure some of you must have had the same kind of issue, right? You have a product, but you are not making generational wealth. You are not making money. Let me walk you through first step, the reason why you are not making money with the product you currently have, and why you should go back and walk through the same step and observe what I'm about to see will change how you sell, market, and grow your business as far as product is concerned. Now let me go through them one after the other. The first thing you must know is this: your product must be a product that is not time bound. You cannot have a product that is time bound and want to create generational wealth, your product must be a product that anybody can wake up in the middle of the night and use it. Yes, and have access to it. I can open my MacBook and have access to my laptop and use my laptop anytime of the day, in the night, in the morning. It's no time bound. Some of you create products and you say, no, I can only deliver 1 o'clock, I can only deliver 5 o'clock, and then you have a product that nobody can use all the time. So you have certain limitation that will make you not to grow. Step number 2 is your product must not be location bound. If you have a product, it should be accessible to anyone, everywhere in the world. Anyone, anywhere in the world. It should not be location bound. It should not be, oh, it's only available in the US. All right, okay, only US citizens will buy. It should be a product that is not location bound. The third thing is this. See, your product must be out of love for the users of your product, and you genuinely want them to win while using your product. If you can create a product like that, nothing is going to stop you. Last is your product must solve a major problem for a large audience, and with that, you are good to go, right? Your product must solve a major problem for a large audience. And if you want to know my top list of best product to create that meets all these criteria, link below. I created certain kind of product that you can be able to create, right, that meet these criteria. You can look at them and see if they fit you. With that said, go, and normally I was about to tell you, watch this video, watch that video. I'm not going to do that, right? I'm going to tell you now, go and start creating your products. We are waiting for you. We can't wait to see the solution you have inside of you. We are waiting. So go now, start to create your products and create that generational wealth for your children. See you guys.